Welcome, welcome everybody back to Nine's Corner. I hope everybody's feeling okay, doing well, and maintaining. And as always, I have my candle lit for each and every one of us. So I'm kind of in this funny way where it's sort of like it's hard because we're going into a darker and darker time, because as the numbers tick up and we know that there's a soul being lost and the ripple effect of how it affects so many, it makes us, it can't help but put fear into you. It can't help but make you feel sad and depressed and all these awful feelings. And then when you start thinking it and feeling it, then all of a sudden it just keeps compounding and coming into your life in waves, and it's just like it just get weighted down with it all. So we have to take care of our health, mental, physical, spiritual. But sometimes when it's hard and you're feeling angry or depressed, you've got to look for a better thought. You know, it's like when you break up with somebody. Just an example. Somebody breaks up with you and you're heartbroken. Sometimes it's better to feel angry and be like, oh no, hold on now, you didn't deserve me, I will do better. It's better to feel that anger than to feel that sadness. So if you're feeling sad right now, maybe you should feel a little angry. Maybe it would be good for you to write out a letter to Donald Trump or to whoever's in your focus that has angered you, because there's just so many. Pick a Republican you'd like to pick on, and it's crazy. So I'm just saying, protect yourself, guys. Think about it in the way of, you know, we've gotten through many, many, many things throughout this world, and we've managed to exist through the Spanish flu, through H1N1, and through 101 other things that are going to come to pass. And we will manage. It might take a couple of years, and it's going to take some loss. But we can't bury our head in the sand. We have to speak up and speak out. So take care of the inner you while you're going through this. And we'll help take care of each other, because communicating and getting our ideas and our voices heard is a great way. So I appreciate when you comment. And if I like your comment, if you see I heart your comment, it means that I've read your comment. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it. But I just want you to know that I took the time to read it. So thank you very much for subscribing, for commenting and liking. I appreciate it. So my son came into my room this morning and he was like, Mom, you've got to look at this video. It is so funny. Now, I did not find it humorous at all, but it was Donald Trump. And he was saying, China, 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 China. They just showed all these videos of him saying it at different rallies in different places, saying China, China. And I thought, yeah, let's look at China. Because in all of our readings, if we go back, there's just all these like breadcrumbs that are leading up. And I just want to get more into what's going on here. Because on the one hand, you know, Donald Trump was against China and, you know, wanted to start a trade war with China. But then when the virus started, even when it was already in the U.S., even when he had already had his experts saying, hey, this is a pandemic, he was out twittering and tweeting to President Xi of China that, hey, thank you for your transparency and thank you for all the hard work you're doing. Makes no sense to me. So I thought, let's dive in with a few questions. Let's look and see, how does Donald Trump feel about President Xi and China? And how does President Xi feel about Donald Trump and the USA? Because think about it, he's been to China. He actually went to China. Hold on. And didn't his daughter go with him too? His wife? I mean, his daughter. Terrible. He'd like for her to be his wife. He's sick. He's a sick, sick, sick man. So let's have a look. How does President Xi and China feel about Donald Trump and the USA, and vice versa? Let's look at China first, then the USA. So China, we have the sun. The sun is society, it's people. It's also, you know, the spreading of the virus, because the sun shines and spreads her hand. Well, this is China spreading the virus. societal spread. Interesting. But for Donald Trump and the USA, when they look at China, they got the Eight of Wands, which is, communications overseas. This is long distance communication. This even like long distance travel. So this, he definitely spoke to President Xi, and there was more said and more that's unseen than we know, because this is overseas communications and quick information. Let's look and see what are their private communications between Trump and President Xi. What's their private communications like? So what is it that we don't see from Trump's point of view and from Xi's point of view? So Xi and Trump. Xi, hangman. So for China, for the Communist Party, they have the hangman. So they see things from a different point of view. China has always had a long-term plan. They don't plan for something like we do, a week down the road or a year down the road, or even like hugely long down the road, 2 years. They've got like a 50 and 100-year plan. So I think that the hangman is showing that they have a viewpoint of how this is all going to work out. They see this situation in a different way than we do. They don't see it as the pandemic as we do. They're hiding their numbers. There's more people that have been hurt and killed and held accountable by China, because they tried to, if anybody tried to speak about the virus, they had them detained by the authorities. They destroyed the first few cases and paperwork and blood tests and everything else, so they can't find the direct, zero, the patient zero. So they see this very differently. And this, okay, holy sugar. Every single time. If you've watched even 2 of my videos, you'd be after hearing me say this 1,000 times. Oh my God. So Trump sees China as the big explosion. He knew this was coming. He knew this was happening. China sees it from a different perspective. They see it as destroying of the world, destroying of the USA, destroying of the US economy. And Trump is in the know about this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did Donald Trump... Okay, you know what? We've watched Donald Trump, and I said it in my last video. They're standing up, shoulder to shoulder. Do they have a vaccination for themselves that they know about? Or are they just stupid? Like, seriously, they're not social distancing. Mike Pence was rubbing the army guy's arm. So do they already have a vaccination? Are they vaccinated? Two of Wands. So I think this probably means that, yes, they have a way around it. If not necessarily a vaccination, it might be they've taken therapies that would help them or protect them. Or maybe this is sort of like there's some that do know and some that don't know. Let's clarify. Page of Wands. So this is somebody who's giving information about the doing and strength. So maybe not a vaccination per se, but I think they know more about it than what they're letting on. So they probably have a defense or a way of trying to defend and having strength. So they know something. Somebody told them something. Ew. Does China have a vaccination? Does China have a vaccination? I can't imagine that they do because, well, let's see. Does China have a vaccination? Goodness gracious. So yeah, they have therapies. They have more information about it than what they're letting on. I've said in previous videos that whether this is proven to come from bats or to jump from bats to humans, there's something fishy. Something went on. There was human intervention or human knowledge about it long before it ever had to become a pandemic. They're happy about this. They have knowledge of therapies, maybe even a vaccination, but they're using it to cut off and to harm. Okay. Let's look at it and see. Do they have a vaccination? Will we find out what's going on? Is there something secret going on between Trump and China, the head guys? Is there something going on between them that we are going to find out about? What is the secret? Is there something secret? Am I just letting conspiracy theories just rattle my brain? Will we find out what's going on? Is there a secret being held? There's two situations and we are being held in the dark. They are huge weights that are weighing down. The Emperor, Donald Trump, the king, the authority, the one that's coming in thinking that he is the one who is taking over and being the wartime president, when in actuality he's blinding himself to it and allowing whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But there's hope. There will be slow information coming out about it. So there is something hidden. What is hidden? What is being hid from us? What is being hid from us? Give us information as to what is being hid from us. What is being hid from us? So we have the King of Swords. This is Trump he's using his knowledge and his words to cut people. I mean, that's obvious. Anybody who says anything negative or tries to question anything he does, he cuts them off. He jumps into it. We've got the Six of Pentacles. So this is Trump and his cronies keeping money. This is all about money, resources. This is pure, unadulterated greed. The devil. The devil's in the details. There's so much going on, guys. There are secrets that abound, and it has to do with greed, and it has to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with authority. What is going to be the result? How are people going to see it? People are going to become aware of the robbing, the stealing. This is not, and swords is thoughts. So, I don't even think this is coming down to just resources as in money or as in product. That has a big portion of it. But this is also, now we're in a tech world where swords are your mind, swords are your thoughts. So this is about communications, about technology and the use of technology. Because, if you look at China, they dramatically use their cell phones to do everything from banking to their health updates. And I heard a report out of India where they were saying 1 million cell phone users in China went missing. Scary. So let's look and see. what is Donald Trump doing by lagging? Why is he not taking control? Why is he allowing some of the states to do as they please and to not shut down? Why is he not controlling the situation? Why is he not controlling the money? What is he doing? What is his purpose? What is his purpose? He is using his position to cause a great transformation. He is knowingly taking the blocks away from the foundation to allow the U.S. to fail. He is doing this knowingly. But why? I don't understand. Okay. Is Putin, Russia, part of this? Is Putin part of the connection between China, Russia, and the USA, Donald Trump? You know what's interesting? When this all first happened, the pandemic started in China, they were under such desperate need that Italy had sent them PPEs and all kinds of medical use things. And when this all turned around and it ended up being that Italy was the one who was in need, China sold it back to them. So let's see what's going on with Russia, because people have said, other than a videotape put out by the Russian government, that Putin hasn't been seen for a week. And we know what our last video about Putin was about, so that wasn't very positive. But would they leave Putin out? Would they turn on Putin? What's Putin's role in this? I think Trump and Xi decided to leave Putin out of this. I think Putin was blindsided. Interesting. Is Putin sick? Is Putin really sick? Or is he just dramatically being on the sidelines? Is Putin really sick? Or is he just being dramatic on the sidelines? No, he's sick. There's something on the go with him. It's going in like, yeah. He's at the beginning stages of it. There's the sun being the pandemic spread. He's got it, guys. I bet you any money. Now, I don't ask about death or dying. It's not my place. I certainly wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So that's not a place where I go. But he's definitely been ill with it, or he is ill with it. What is going to be the outcome for Trump, like we do all the time? What is going to be the outcome for Trump? Are we going to find out about a connection with China? Will we find out about a connection with China? We will. There's 3 of them in this. There's more than, look. Ugh. Yes, we will find out. There's at least 3 parties involved. Now, I'm not saying they're involved with starting the pandemic and then spreading it around. I mean that they had knowledge early enough that we could have cut this off and not cause the global pandemic and the global loss of income from everybody. So, will China use this opportunity? Because, I mean, they're not making money. They're not selling the wares because we're all going through trouble. So is China using this as a means to better themselves in the placement of the world because people are looking so poorly at them? Or is this part of their 50 or 100-year plan that they're actually doing this, allowing for the virus to get out and to harm people because they want to have their plan for everybody to be under Chinese rule, the Communist Party? Let's see. Temperance. Buddy Obel. They are doing everything. They're like a science teacher and with their beakers trying to do, put this, put that, let's try this out. They're being very active, guys. So let's just I'm going to take out my Lenormand cards. What is Trump's day going to look like for tomorrow? Let's just do a little quick sentence. So the man came up. So that was direct for Trump. This has to be a message. We've got the fox. So that's trickery and survival. We got the coffin, which is illness. So we've got Trump, who's going to use trickery to survive the illness, trickery to survive the impact of the illness and what people are going to think about. But the snake is coming out. He's got rivals. Like I said in yesterday's video, there is a spy in the camp and the bouquet. So this is going to come out in public view. This is going to come out in public view. This is going to give an opportunity for light to come to this darn darkness. Oh, bless it. All right, guys. Remember, we are going to be okay no matter how this plays out, one way or the other. Let's be connected with one another. Let's stay strong for one another. And as always, wishing you light for your darkness. Have a great evening, guys.